Hey campers, this is Jack Hannigan with Might Be News. You're listening to the Might Be Sports podcast on the MBN network. The Might Be Sports news hour is 8 o'clock, but it doesn't matter, it's a podcast. Weather also doesn't matter. News, Trump tweeted, and everyone lost their shit. Stick around, and don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there.
The following is a Just Green production, brought to you by the Might Be News network.
What's up, everybody? It's the week of November 26th, 2018. I'm Taylor Cooper. This is Might Be Sports. With me, as always, Kevin Reavy. What's up, Kevin Reavy?
What's going on?
What's up, CJ?
What's up?
Man, we're all here. It's after Thanksgiving. We got a lot to talk about. It's a jam-packed sports spectacle of a weekend. We have no guest this week, which is wild. I feel like we've been on like an amazing guest streak, but we don't need one every week. We're about to prove it right now.
I like this. We can get done everything we kind of like rush through at the end. We can do the TMZ sports.
Well, it's nice because it's no pressure.
Yeah.
It's no pressure, right? We got all the time in the world. We can talk about all the crazy shit that happened over the weekend. What's going on this weekend? We're going to guess some spreads. The NFC is I'm looking at football like there's already a Final Four to me that I just feel like they're destined for the championship games. That's how I feel. We're going to get to it in a few minutes. But first thing I want to know, how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Everybody have a good time?
Mine was good.
Yeah, it was good. You know.
Yeah.
The usual.
The usual? What does that consist of? A lot of food, a lot of booze?
Yeah, I try to squeeze in every family member I can into one day. So I'm driving all over the place. Have multiple Thanksgiving dinners. It's always delicious.
Nice.
Eating right till the end. It was awesome. And then, late at night, I stayed over at my sister's place. She's got kids. So they had Mario Kart, which, by the way, kids, not a prerequisite for Mario Kart. Mario Kart's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
There's this new Nintendo Switch thing going on.
Yeah.
Which brings back Mario Kart, an updated version for
Is it good? It's
the
nice.
new era. Oh, man. It was like going home again.
They just came out with the new Super Smash Brothers for that as well. Did you ever get into that too?
So there's two games I've really gotten into the past 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
Madden and Mario Kart.
Okay.
So if it's not Madden or Mario Kart related,
Probably not
that into it.
Yeah.
But I did strongly consider getting Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
And then I started to think in my head, I'm going to buy this game. In my head, I'm like, I'm doing it. So I very much live in my own head. So I start playing the game in my head. I'm thinking about me playing this game. And all I can think about is the horse just going along. Cluck, 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 cluck.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in that
game. And then
game.
just riding along and being like, well, there's not much to do. And then every once in a while, seeing a squirrel, let's shoot it. All right, cool. Shot that squirrel. So what else? And then ride into town, shoot some people. That'd be cool for a day.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think I'd be a little bored with it. Now, Grand Theft Auto is great because it's
a little faster paced. Yeah.
I don't have much personal experience in the Wild West.
Sure.
But I have personal experience in this world. And my one thing about Grand Theft Auto is that I can't keep on missions because I keep shooting people in the face.
Right.
And I can't stop myself from shooting people in the face. And I know there's an inner voice being like, don't do it, Kev. You're really far in this mission. You're going to go there. And I'm like, well, look, I have to shoot him in the face. And I'll do it. And immediately afterward, it'll say, oh, you failed the mission. I'm like, I can't
Start
help
over.
it, though.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you beat Red Dead Redemption in your head before you bought the game. So there's no need to buy the game now?
Kinda.
I will tell you this. The Red Dead Redemption 2 is exhilarating. It's thrilling. It's a thrilling, emotional roller coaster ride. It's fantastic. And as we speak, remember, because you guys were here that night when I went to go get it.
Oh yeah, you cut the show short.
Yeah, I cut the show short so I could go get it, right? So I got the Ultimate Edition or whatever. So the online thing just started today for the Ultimate Edition people.
So
I'm like,
listeners, the show will be short because he has to go online.
Straight to the point. The shit just started today. It's fucking phenomenal. And I'm blown away by the scale of it. I'm done here.
See, I was into Westworld. I like that show.
Yeah, this kind of gives you the same vibe, minus the machines and different things.
Yeah, this past season was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. Did you finish it? You liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very heady, which I kind of like.
It was wild.
I mean, to compare it, so like The Matrix, like that turned into a huge pile of shit. That whole TV or movie franchise.
Yeah.
By the third one, it's like, oh, get the fuck out of here! Like they got so deep and so like
biblical.
It's like fuck off. It was so weird.
Yeah.
But like you had to be like the nerdiest of nerds, and pretty much it came down to only like 3 people in the room knew what was going on. It was those 3 damn directors.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Visually, it was like one of the greatest things ever all the way through. But yeah, story-wise, it just kind of like took a nosedive somewhere in the middle of like the second one.
Right. And there are some shows that can get like that, and it gets weird. It gets hard to follow. But if you just pay attention, I think Westworld was one of those shows that was headed along those lines. But if you really pay attention, like sometimes it'll just, you don't care about the show. So how complicated it is, you lose it and you're done.
Right.
Or there are shows that are so good, you're inspired to try to figure out the puzzle. That was this season of that show, where you're not sure what the hell was real, what happened when they gave you multiple episodes and multiple pieces.
Right.
You had to put the puzzle together, which I thought was cool.
I like how they do like the different timelines in that show. Like it's just kind of, you don't know when something is happening until pretty much the end.
Just regular old hot sports talk here on Might Be Sports. But what do we say? This is why it
might be sports. It might be.
Right.
Well, real quick before we don't talk any sports this past weekend, I know you don't get into college football that much, but this Thanksgiving weekend of college football is the most exciting, in my opinion. It beats all the bowl games minus the top 4, right? Rivalry weekend. That's what this is. It doesn't matter what their records are. It doesn't matter if one team is stacked and the other one sucks. They usually play each other really tight this weekend. Everybody that plays. This weekend, though, there was some pretty lopsided rivalry weekend games. Starting with
all right, so wait. So keep talking.
Yeah.
But I have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
But I need to grab a new beer. This is like a beer opening, like a drop the mic kind of thing.
Oh wow.
So keep going.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna run off some scores here. Starting with Thanksgiving night, Mississippi State demolished Ole Miss 35-3. That's usually a really close game. Texas beat Kansas 24-17. I watched this the UCF game. They beat USF 38-10. Their quarterback, UCF's quarterback, went down in that game. CJ, did you see any of this? Did you see highlights of this?
No, I didn't see any of this.
Did you see any highlights of this?
Well, funny you should mention that because I did not watch a single college football game this week or last week. Rivalry week, you say? Sounds cute. That's like a minor league football thing they do. Oh, that's neat. So it's a rival game then, right?
Yeah.
It's like a team that they really don't like,
right.
And the other team really doesn't like you.
They give out trophies in these games.
Trophies
to whoever
that's
wins.
Nice.
They do it every year. It's the same thing.
What about the team that loses? Do they get anything?
Probably not.
Well, that's not fair.
No, not in 2018 standards.
That's just not right.
UCF's quarterback Mackenzie Milton ran outside in one of the plays this weekend and was kind of tackled from the top and from the bottom in a couple of different directions. And literally when they were done, he was laying on the ground and he was kind of like on his side and his leg was going up and from his knee down was just dangling onto the ground. Like it was just dangling from like the side. It was disgusting to the point where they wouldn't even show the replay. I didn't know what happened, so we rewound it on TV, and I kind of wish I didn't, but it was horrendous. It was horrendous.
So I heard about that, but my first thought was, I thought, oh, this stinks for the team,
Right. And they still mopped the floor with them after that.
but they're one of those teams where they're not going to make the Final Four,
Right.
but they could potentially be undefeated and have one of those like weird claims to the title at the end of the year.
UCF hasn't lost a game in over 2 seasons. They have the longest running undefeated streak in the history of college football right now.
So were they the team last year?
Yeah.
That had, all right. So
Yeah.
they were the team that would have that claim.
Yeah.
But now it's without the quarterback. It's kind of like when I'm going to say like 99, 2000 when Kenyon Martin went down for Cincinnati and the tournament started and they still kept them ranked number 1.
Right.
It was like, without Kenyon, like he's their whole team.
Right.
Without him, they're nothing. So I wonder if this is one of those things where it stinks because the argument can't continue. You can't say that UCF is one of the best teams in the country because now their quarterback's down.
Right.
So I do, as much as I don't really pay attention that much to, I pay attention to sports in general, but I kind of like that argument and that like conversation.
What, as far as like
the guy that
hurting their ranking? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The teams, because I hate the fact I would be more into college football if they would expand the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I love the storylines of teams that were undefeated, but just outside the parameters.
Which, if they did extend the playoff, UCF is right on the cusp right now. They're at 9. They've been as far, I think, this year as 8, but it's all strength of schedule for them. They're just in a different category of opponents, according to an Alabama or a whoever. But it's an interesting thing, and we've talked about it before. But I wish that UCF would get a chance simply because they have the longest undefeated streak. To me, it doesn't matter who they're playing because it's like they're still playing, college football teams, ranked or unranked. It doesn't matter. They're in Division I. So I don't know.
Right, and this quote unquote playoff. Again, we've been down this road.
Should just
before.
be bigger.
It's the smallest mathematically allowable playoff you can have.
And it's already started. It started a couple weeks ago with the who's in. Every commercial break, who's in?
So what if
Out
you
of 4
actually
teams.
had a playoff and how exciting that would have been?
Right. I'd be so hyped because right now it'd be going on. Anyway, Oklahoma and West Virginia, 59-56, Oklahoma. Defensive struggle. Ohio State.
That's pretty outrageous.
Ohio State smashed Michigan, 62-39. This is a huge upset. Michigan was ranked 4th going into the game. Ohio State was 10. Let's see. Alabama smashed Auburn 52-51. That's usually a way better game than this. I watched a little bit of it, and it was ugly. Penn State trounced Maryland 38-3. That's usually a better game too. Let's see. Any other interesting ones?
All right, I was just looking it up. So I couldn't remember what the team name was, and couldn't remember their rank. But last year, the Final Four, March Madness, when Villanova won it all, you had Loyola versus Michigan. So Loyola was 11th ranked.
Right.
They made it to the Final Four. So we're just talking about a team, ranked 9th amongst all of the Division I college football teams in the country. This was an 11 seed, which would make them, it doesn't exactly work that way, but you'd say, 44th in the country that made it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
This is why you need an actual tournament.
Right.
Because maybe a team is just that good.
Or get on a roll late, or just, who knows?
It's the most exciting sports talk you can have is when you got a team that comes from nowhere. There was this whole, I think that was a team last year with the Nun or something that wasn't that the story with
that
Loyola?
was the Nun. Yeah.
And it just goes on for weeks and weeks. And it gets a little bit old, but it's cool. It's awesome. It
gets a little bit old to some people. Some people eat that shit up the whole time, and they're just like, Last year with the Nun was crazy.
And no one's asking for a month-long tournament. Like, it
Right.
doesn't have to be like how they do in basketball. It doesn't have to be that long, that big.
But if they extended it to 8, it would be. Like, it just automatically would be.
Well, all right, right.
Which would be great. Like, 'cause
But
it's
also,
not
they're
like they
just
would be
playing once a week.
Right. Right.
So
right.
that's fine.
The last crazy score was also an enormous upset. Ranked 22 Texas A&M defeated number 7 LSU 74-72 in overtime.
That's ridiculous.
That's a college football score. That's nuts. That's just raining touchdowns all day.
Those are two teams without a defense.
Like nothing.
That's actually a high-scoring college basketball game.
Right? The kid Mond from Texas A&M, 6 touchdowns. LSU, the Burrow, their running back, got 3 touchdowns. The quarterback, the quarterback threw for 3 touchdowns and ran for 3 touchdowns.
That's a diversified portfolio.
I wish I watched that game. I don't even know what I was doing during that. It was a busy weekend. I didn't watch as much college football as I do. My dad, shout out to my dad, when for Thanksgiving, it's college football. If it's not college football, it's the NFL. But like that whole Thanksgiving weekend, it's just football. Like, doesn't matter what game, doesn't matter who it is. Pick a game. Who are you rooting for? Let's watch it. Flip-flop between channels. Different games. It's all weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What you watched the Phil Tiger thing?
That was, oh man, it was cool. But it was, we described it. We were talking about this before we went on. It was the most fun I've ever had, continuously almost falling asleep for 5 hours straight. It's like it was the best of times. It was the sleepiest of times. It was so brutal. I mean, it was fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
They are going to fix so many things for the next one they do.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, there's so many things you could say about this. Like how Bleacher Report blew it and everyone pretty much got a refund with like the
what happened with
was
that?
Broken.
Yeah, they
Bleacher Report started streaming it?
They were supposed to switch over to pay-per-view mode. They never did.
Wow.
So it was free. And then if the people that paid for it found out it was free and complained, so everyone's getting their money.
Wow.
Well, I thought there was a problem with the stream. And then
Yeah, they didn't switch it to pay-per-view.
There was like a beginning part, like a pre-game thing or something?
Yeah,
and they just,
yeah.
Okay.
You kind of like
I
any
guess I don't
pay-per-view you've ever seen. They had the little intro.
Okay, so buy now, and you can.
But I think
do the
you
whole
could
thing?
pay on Bleacher Report, but the people that paid on there to watch the stream, they were having issues before it actually started. And because I think they anticipated the issues might continue into it, they just said, all right, scrap it now. We'll make the whole thing free.
Wow.
And then later on, they had to make it free on pay-per-view and everything.
Were they making tons? Were the ratings good? I didn't even look.
I would assume the ratings would have to be good.
Yeah.
It was a good time slot for it. Wasn't a whole lot going on. It was on Friday, right?
Yeah.
The day after Thanksgiving.
Kind of sitting around, chilling.
It's one of those days where nothing's really like worked into that day.
Right.
So you could just sit back, watch some golf. The problem was, I think it might be a contractual thing where they couldn't really get golf commentators to come on, like typical golf commentators. So they had like the NBA countdown crew from TBS. Like it was like Charles Barkley, all those guys. And, they're cool. They don't really know that much about, they know a lot about golf
Sure.
as much as any of us. I mean, I golf a lot. And I'm sure they know as much about the game, if not much more so than me. But they don't know anything about commentating golf.
Right.
And they were up against Tiger and Phil. Because one of the big things is they're going to be talking during this whole match. And like conceptually, I think it was a lot greater than it turned out to be. Like when you see it live, you're like, oh yeah, well they know they're on camera.
Right.
They're not going to talk like they normally would.
Right.
And there were actually times, I think at one point Phil said to his caddy, like, I feel like uncomfortable. I don't know what to say. Like I feel like they want more from me or something. It was weird. But beyond all that, they talked just fine. The chatter was cool. It was just that there wasn't a good combination, a good back and forth between letting them talk and letting like the commentators do their thing. So a lot of times, just silence.
Yeah.
For long, long periods of time. And you don't realize how much you need those guys until they're gone.
Right.
You'll see these shots and the ball kind of goes out of the picture and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. And all of a sudden there's backspin and it comes back to the hole. You're like, oh, that was cool.
Right.
But it would have been so much cooler a moment if there's a commentator saying like, oh, wait. This one's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back.
Yeah.
And it's within 3 feet of the cup.
Right.
Like, you need that little bit of extra jolt.
Right.
It's
a presentation.
right. So they're going to do it better next time. They're going to figure out a way to do that. I'm sure they'll bring in much more experienced people on the mic to bring that home. But it was just a weird, and the fact that it went 4 extra holes.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure I might have fallen asleep for probably 10 times for 1 or 2 minutes each time.
Right.
I just kept trying, because I was over at a buddy's house. There was 10 people there. I was trying not to fall asleep because it's a little embarrassing.
Sure.
I didn't want to be the guy that's snoring on the couch out of nowhere. So, I mean, I was fighting it for so long, and it gets darker earlier now.
Yeah.
And by the end, it was 8 o'clock and it felt like 1 o'clock in the morning.
What time did it start?
So I guess, it was about 5 hours long. So I think 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Apparently it was a bust.
It was a bust. How so? Like the ratings?
The people tuning in and
That's surprising.
The viewership.
I mean,
even though it became free.
Based on their expectations?
Yeah. So what it was expected to be and what it turned out to be, it was a bust. But
maybe their expectations were too high, because
the articles on here are saying don't give up on it. There's easy room for improvement.
They shouldn't give up on it. This is a great idea.
I've been hearing that all week from different people. It's just it could be so much better. They got to make it better.
And if it didn't hit expectations, then maybe the Friday after Thanksgiving is not the right time. Maybe that's where they made the mistake.
I don't know. I think the fact that Bleacher Report did it, because it's a TBS company. So the NBA people are the only people, because TBS does not have a golf program. TBS doesn't really have, if an ESPN did it or something.
That's a good point.
ESPN at least has a broad enough category of people where they could fill it in. I can't think of any other sport that Turner has besides NBA.
I can't either. I
mean, they used to have Braves games and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, it can be done. They actually had, I'm blanking on his name, but I should know his name because he's sponsored by William Murray Golf, which is where that company is where I funnel all my money to.
Right.
At this point, I'm just gonna talk to HR and say, all right, the portion of my paycheck goes directly to William Murray. Then I can work out a deal with them saying, how about no more shipping costs? You'll literally get part of my paycheck. You just send me stuff, and then it works out for all parties involved.
Real quick before we go on break, you're the Tiger thing. They didn't have golf carts, right? They were just walking from hole to hole. Is that what happened?
Right, but that's the way it works for a normal tournament.
That is okay. I wasn't sure if they were just going to kind of speed it along. I feel like 5 hours, 5+ hours is
that's
just such
good
a
idea.
long thing.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a great idea. If they want to shorten this, and I think that was one of the complaints, it ended up going on so long. They had to make an extra hole. The rule was if it went 2 extra holes, you play the 18th twice. If it's still tied after 18 twice, they make a par 3. So they're cutting the hole And I'm thinking, like, all this time, what a waste of time.
Right.
And they have lights shining down. They played the extra hole 3 times. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just too long.
Yeah.
So the best thing you could do for that. Now, what they would be concerned of is, what if it's a blowout by one side? Because the way it is match play, it's, who wins the majority of, it's kind of like a best of 18 tournament.
Right.
So if you got a guy who's dominating, and you could be up, if you win the first 10 holes,
It's over.
it's over. But I mean, it could be over, like, very realistically on like the 15th hole, and it's done.
But they just like played like skins.
But I mean, that's nothing new for pay-per-view anyway. That's boxing. That's
Yeah.
But I think the downfall of this event is there's no TV magic. People are just seeing a live camera roll without an edit, and everyone's become so
Right.
used to
It's
it.
turn off.
Yeah, that
It's bland.
no one
You know
wants
what?
to see how the hamburger gets made. They just want the hamburger.
Sure.
TV
Yeah, I
golf
get
is
that. That's
very
good.
edited. Like, a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah. Well, and also during TV golf, they go from hole to hole, from
Right.
player to player.
Most of what you're seeing is quote unquote live, but it's from 3 minutes ago
Sure.
because they were just on somebody
right.
else.
Right.
So they're able to splice in certain things
Because they're covering
and-
the whole field.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the things missing. We wanted to hear, and also, I said I wanted to hear more, conversation from the guys on the mic, but also there were times when they were talking and I'm thinking to myself, shut up. I want to hear what Phil's saying right now.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they're
could
going to
even-
take this and make it work.
They could have even done what boxing does when those quick knockouts happen. They have all this stockpile of footage to kind of hype up the upcoming fight or this or that. Or so you could have had footage from them 10 years ago competing, being like, this is how blah, blah, blah. Tiger
true.
did it.
It's true.
Yeah, it's actually true. I mean, there wasn't any like cutbacks. That would have been interesting. Every once in a while, splice in like here's what I wonder if that like had the rights to some past video that they just couldn't use because they didn't have the rights to it.
I mean, stuff like that. You can look at ESPN. You can always get the rights. You just have to know what you're paying for. And I feel like that they didn't make any money on this. Like, especially with the pay-per-view going down, that would have killed them. That would have killed any future event like this, because them having to pay for that footage, them having to put up the money, all the side stuff, all the people working on it, they would have just taken it would have been
Right.
a bloodbath.
But that being said, that they still had, there was commercials. They didn't ever cut away from the video, but they had like a split screen thing going on. So they had some money coming in from that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy shit, man. It's really crazy shit.
It's going to work.
Yeah. I think they'll do it again. The only problem though is there's not many, and I don't follow golf like crazy. But from what I've heard people talking about and from what I see, I guess, is that there's not really many players that are on the same level that would be as much of a draw as these two.
I mean,
So they'd almost have to do like a rematch. I mean, because who else would
that's
you
not
pull?
exactly true, because like right now is the best time ever for golf as far as personalities go, marketability. It's never been better than it is right now. Literally, like between like 5 years ago and right now, this is the golden age for golf as far as personalities go and marketability. It could be done. I think it's better done as a team, 2-on-2. You could bring in more of these personalities. Now, you got
That would be
Ricky
better.
Fowler, like, put Puma Golf on the map. This is a guy that he created a whole brand and a whole sort of like fashion lifestyle thing just based on his play. He just went out there, he wore the flat brim cap,
Yeah.
bright colors, and changed the game and changed, fashion in the game. I can't tell you like what Ricky Fowler meant like as far as like money goes, Puma, I mean, it's incalculable what he did for them.
Right.
But everybody else changed their game based on him. So golf is one of those, like, it's a weird thing. It's not like a young guy's game like basketball, like football. You know, it's an old man's game, but it's still hip, man. It's hip. And you know something's hip when you're using the word hip.
Wow.
So
It's hip to be a square.
It's funky.
Wow.
It's got potential. They're going to do this again, but here's what they got to do. They got to mix an old guy with a young guy. So Tiger and Fowler and Phil and, Dustin Johnson, he's married to Wayne Gretzky's daughter. He doesn't have a whole lot of personality, but there's some intrigue there.
Yeah. And then,
So you got to do a combo.
and then brighten it up a bit. Brighten it up a bit.
You got to bring these kids in, and they're going to make it better.
Wow. It's interesting. Interesting idea. We'll see what happens, because, I found it interesting. I obviously didn't watch it because I didn't know it was free until it was over. But, yeah, no. We'll see if they
And
do
you
it
didn't
again.
have 5 hours to spare.
Yeah, no shit. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk some NFL. I'm going to tell you my 4 teams that I feel are cemented in the NFC and AFC championships. We're going to do, did I say guess the spreads? We're going to guess the spreads. We're going to talk some rapid fire and go to the week. We'll be right back after this. Hey, everybody. Taylor Cooper here, reminding you to check out the Novak and Franz show. Last week, we had Chris Rabb on the show. We have all kinds of stuff every week. We're talking with Brandon Novak and Joe Franz about their careers, their lives. They're taking your calls. Make sure you follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, because they'll let you know when to call. They're on every other week. Not this week, but check them out. They got a bunch of episodes on the Might Be News Network, mbnnetwork.com, and all major platforms. Check it out. Welcome back to Might Be Sports. Let's talk some football.
Some real football.
Some real football. So my top 4 teams is pretty simple. You probably could have guessed it. But I firmly believe that the NFC Championship will be between the Saints and the Rams. And I firmly believe at this point that the AFC Championship will be played between the Chiefs and the Patriots. The Patriots look, in my opinion, worse than they have in most recent years.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because I was going to say the same 4, but
You feel that way?
I thought I was going to be different from you because of the Patriots. But explain your reasoning.
I just think that the AFC is kind of interesting right now. I feel like the Texans are definitely on the rise. They've now won 8 straight. They look really good. Their defense looks really solid. Their defense isn't like Jacksonville last year, but their offense is certainly better than Jacksonville last year. Deshaun Watson looks great. I just don't know. I think that New England, Tom Brady, as much as I hate it, they always find a way to get where they need to be in the postseason. They just do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's on the team, what star player they got, or what's going on. I just feel like they figure it out, certainly in the playoffs. And I know that Andy Reid has some struggles in the playoffs, whatever. But this Mahomes kid is for real, and their offense is explosive. Their defense is really good too. Just I don't see anybody taking those guys down, and the NFC is basically sealed for me. Honestly, right now,
I think for most people.
It's Saints. I think nobody's beating the Saints.
Well, the only thing I'm worried about, I mean, not worried about, but I wonder about is, so I don't worry about Drew Brees, Tom Brady. They're going to do their thing.
Right.
They're not going to buckle under the pressure. They've got titles of their own. I think Brees just won, but
just one.
Brady's got a few.
Yeah.
And
the most ever.
Oddly enough, Deshaun Watson, I think he's going to get it done. It's Goff.
Yeah.
And I wonder about Goff because he didn't get it done last year. And, 2 years makes a trend. We're not there yet. Who knows? Maybe the Rams win it all. We'll see. But oddly enough, Watson, I think he's going to get it done when it matters most. I don't know why I believe in him more. I think maybe him losing most of last year,
hungry
towards the end.
Yeah,
he really has something to prove, and he's got that extra year under his belt of NFL experience. Whereas Goff last year, I mean, he was his first year was basically garbage, and then last year, boom, you've got one of the best teams in the world, and you're the quarterback. Go win us a Super Bowl. That's a lot to throw on a guy's shoulders. And, unfortunately, we didn't get to see how Carson Wentz was going to perform under the same circumstance.
Yeah.
It fell into, Nick Foles' lap. Savvy vet. He won the Super Bowl. So we'll see. Deshaun Watson, I just think he's kind of used to being a winner. He's always been a winner.
Right. Yeah.
All through college. He didn't go through that whole, Goff had it, Wentz had it. The first year was some ups, mostly downs. Deshaun Watson, no. His entire life has been winning. So I don't worry about him. I think he's going to be fine. So of those four, I think the Rams could, they're going to get the first round bye. So that's an edge, of course. But, look for them. That first game is not a guarantee.
Yeah.
The NFC Championship, not a guarantee. We'll see. If they get as far as the Super Bowl, who knows how far it could go. But yeah, I almost worry about the Rams more than the Patriots in that scenario.
Yeah.
Even though the Patriots, they might not even make the playoffs. Who knows? They've been so up and down. Not sure what their record is right now.
Right now, they are 8-3.
All right, they're making the playoffs. I thought they might have been potentially 7-4. All right, yeah, they're in. Obviously, they're in. But they've had some garbage games. Maybe it comes down to Gronkowski, whether or not he's healthy and playing as he has.
Yeah, New England will make the playoffs. They lead the division by 3 games. Let's just run down real quick the division leaders. Patriots lead the AFC East, Pittsburgh in the North, Houston in a very interesting AFC South. Colts are on the move. Houston obviously doing very well. Kansas City has a 1-game lead in the West of the AFC over the surging Chargers, which I feel like nobody's talking about. Phillip Rivers threw completed 25 consecutive passes over this week.
Well, you got Melvin Gordon out. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but
yeah,
that makes a difference.
Hurts. Yeah,
but I also think, running backs nowadays, you got Connor out there in Pittsburgh, just picked up right where Le'Veon Bell left off.
Yeah.
So I think the running backs a little bit are interchangeable.
There's a lot of talk about Le'Veon possibly getting shopped to Indianapolis next season. A lot of people thinking that he'd like to go play for the Colts.
That's
or he'd be
weird.
a nice fit there.
I guess it would be a nice fit, but you're putting a lot of faith in Andrew Luck.
Putting a lot of faith in
He's had
that
an okay
offensive line.
season.
We've had a lot of faith in that offensive line.
You know what's weird? It's hard to tell who's a good quarterback nowadays because they're all good. Like, they're all good.
They're all good, yeah.
Baker Mayfield, good quarterback. Like, pick
Yeah,
a team, and they have a good quarterback for the most part.
Real quick before we do the spreads, the Baker Mayfield thing, Your thoughts on him dissing the coach this week? Personally, I think it's stupid. I think he's mad at this guy for getting fired. He acts like he could just go get any job he wants. Like, oh, he went to Cincinnati. I hate him now. Basically,
I think there's so much media, and
it's just so stupid.
There's so much opportunity to misspeak.
Yeah,
that I think it all means nothing.
I think he's childish. I think he's childish.
Maybe,
but he is young. He's young.
But he's also
I also get the fact that it's something to rally behind.
He's playing well now. The team's playing well.
Yeah.
And everyone's asked. 18 different reporters could ask him the same question, and he'll answer it the PC way. The 19th guy, he might get tired and say what he said. That's what gets reported.
Right.
The 19th time.
Yeah.
So it's weird. There's just too much conversation, too many questions, too much media, and we jump over one little remark that a guy makes. And he's kind of right, too, because they weren't winning before, and now they are. You know what? It's sports. If Hugh Jackson's feelings are hurt, get over it.
Yeah.
Because as the head coach, we all saw on Hard Knocks, the head coach be the first guy to say your feelings are hurt, that you're cut, get over it. Like,
right.
When a guy's not doing his job, Hugh Jackson, his job was to cut guys.
Yeah.
Right now, Baker Mayfield, they're asking him a question. He's giving his honest opinion.
Like a child.
Not always going to make you feel good. But that's football.
And the NFC division leaders, real quick. Dallas Lee is tied with Washington for the very knotted up NFC East. Eagles 1 game behind. Giants are horrible.
Best division in football right there.
Oh, God.
You know it's the best division in football because the Cowboys, the Redskins, the Eagles, Giants are so close together.
Wow.
It doesn't matter if you're at the top of the mountain or the bottom of the mountain.
You're on the mountain.
They're on the mountain fighting together.
They're all embarrassing to watch this year. They're embarrassing to watch this year. I'm glad that we beat the Giants, but our defense is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It was weird. And you had Odell Beckham saying, he was, as the kids would say, he was throwing some shade.
Yeah.
At his
coach,
his coaching crew.
Well, he's been doing that for pretty much the whole season.
But I'm on
like
board
2 years straight.
with Odell. Personally, as an Odell, now I can say a former Odell Beckham fantasy player holder because my team is quickly going in the trash.
Wow.
It's done. But, are you 85 yards and 0 touchdowns? How does that happen against an Eagles secondary? There's no excuse for it. They should have attacked nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop, all game long. Just break records. Just throw deep. Hail Marys every play. You cannot go wrong against this Eagles secondary. They had guys that I've never heard of before.
Right.
I threw out like a challenge saying pick a random guy in the Eagles secondary. Is it an Eagles player or a character from Harry Potter? You don't know.
The Chicago Bears lead the NFC North over Minnesota by 2 games. New Orleans is way ahead in the NFC South, and the Rams are way ahead in the NFC West. Those are my 4 teams. I think that's what it's going to be.
For fuck's sake, they had a guy playing in the secondary named Cravon LeBlanc.
Who knows? CJ, give me some marquee games. We can't do all of them this week. We're running out of time.
All right. We'll go Saints Cowboys.
That's a smackdown. You want to go first?
All right, it's at Cowboys. This should be -6 Saints.
I'm going minus. I'm going to price is right you. -7 Saints.
-7.
Damn,
wow.
dude. I was going to go -7 too.
Wow.
What about Arizona at Green Bay?
I'm going to say Green Bay -6.
That's a tough one because
That's tough, 'cause-
Green Bay might suck. You say -6?
Yeah.
I think you might have nailed it. I'm gonna Price is Right you and go -5.5.
Packers -14.
No
What?
way. That doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Everybody needs to stop. The Packers aren't good. Aaron Rodgers is clearly hurt.
Clearly.
Because he hasn't been himself since he got hurt, I think like week 1, week 2.
Yeah.
It's been a different. Forget he's Aaron Rodgers. He's like Jim Stevens. Jim Stevens is the quarterback of the Packers. How confident are you with Jim Stevens being the quarterback of the Packers? Not very confident. This line should be 5.5.
He lost some weapons.
I'm taking that as a win. I'm betting on the Cardinals, and I don't bet.
So what about the Chiefs and the Raiders?
Chiefs at Raiders. All right, so this should be a Chiefs at Raiders. At Raiders, -10 Chiefs.
-8 Chiefs.
-15 Chiefs.
Yeah, you went the wrong way on that one.
Yeah.
Jets at Titans.
Jets at Titans. I'm gonna go Titans +5.
That's tough. I think you're on the wrong side of this. I think Titans minus.
Well, that's what I meant to say. I'm sorry.
I said
Titans minus
-5.
5. Yeah.
I got Titans -4.
Titans -9.5.
Wow.
49ers
Yeah, that makes
at
sense. The Jets are
Seahawks.
pretty bad. At Seahawks, 49ers. Okay, Seahawks -6.
I'm gonna say Seahawks -7.
Seahawks -10.
These lines are.
Yeah.
We have to look this up because this might be a record for double-digit line spread. Like this is insane.
These are some pretty hot teams going against some pretty
Are we on
garbage
5
teams,
games
though.
so far with double-digit spreads? I've never seen that before in my life.
Give us a couple more, CJ.
All right. How about Washington at Philadelphia?
Is it my turn? Is it my turn?
Yes, it's
It
you.
is? Okay. I'm going to go Philadelphia -6.
I think I know what it is, but I don't know which way it is. I got to go Philly -3.
Philly -6.5.
Damn, I didn't know it.
Wow.
I swore it was 3. I heard 3 somewhere.
Vikings at Patriots.
That's a good game. It's a good game.
Is this me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I have no feel for this game anymore. You blew my confidence. I mean, all right, Vikings at Patriots. Patriots -17. No. I mean, it feels like that's what you're about to say because whatever number I say, you're going to add 10 to it. All right, Patriots -6. That feels right. It should be right, but it's not going to be. All right, what's your guess?
I'm going to go Patriots -10.
Kevin, you got it dead on.
This is why I'm so good at this game. I nail it every time. Not to pat myself on the back, but man, I'm good at this. So we're done there. The last one wins the whole game.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It's good enough
mean,
for me. Yeah.
All right.
So
Once again, I sweep the category.
let's move on to some TMZ rapid fire sports.
All right. So Dana White rips cokehead Oscar De La Hoya for letting Chuck Liddell fight.
Yeah, that fight was bad. I caught all 30 seconds of it on YouTube the next day. The fight was pretty bad.
Well, Liddell was so out of shape.
Oh, it was evident.
But here's the thing. He's a 50-year-old man.
Right.
And then Dana
old
White
is-
was all pissed because he's a friend of Chuck Liddell. And
Yeah.
first of all, this is not a UFC thing. This is
Golden Boy.
This is a Golden Boy Productions
Right.
thing. So already Dana White's like, dude, back off.
Right.
And this is a 50-year-old man. This could fuck up his life. Talk about the NFL with like the head injuries and
Sure.
stuff and how it screws you later on in life. Liddell's playing with fire here. But the best part was, with the cokehead stuff, this is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dana White's he's not holding back.
Oh, he's been taking shots at De La Hoya all week.
This is
mad.
fun.
He's mad. He's going into it.
Yeah. Tito Ortiz, Liddell should never fight again.
Well, yeah,
I agree.
obviously.
I agree.
Dear Raiders, you're making Carson Daly cry.
Why? Why is he crying? Oh, the Raiders, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about Carson Daly.
Yeah, next.
Tim Tebow brought Miss Universe girlfriend to Thanksgiving. Things getting serious.
Good for him.
Now, here's the big question. Do you think he banged her yet, since he's all about that waiting to marriage thing? Is it that serious?
I think he's sticking to his guns. I think Jesus has Tebow's back.
I believe in Tebow.
All right. Kendall Jenner got French with Ben Simmons after embarrassing loss.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this whole situation. I get that it's kind of dumb for everybody, like, oh, this whole Kardashian curse. But straight up, our home streak got broke by a 2-win team, and this is the first time that she's been in the building all season. Get her out. Get her out.
His averages are nearly identical to last year. Maybe we're setting too high a standard. I don't know. He's playing fine.
Well, and then they soil it by going to my favorite restaurant in Rittenhouse Square. So I don't even know if I want to go back there.
Get her out of here.
Lakers co-owner buys $10 million mansion in LeBron's neighborhood.
Lakers co-owner?
Yes.
Wait, what does this mean? He bought a $10 million mansion.
He just became LeBron's neighbor.
I guarantee that in the next...
Okay.
I bet in the next 10 years, LeBron James is part co-owner of the Lakers.
I don't care.
Next.
Hulk Hogan will never retire from wrestling, says son Nick.
Now we're on to some real news.
We're on to some sports.
I hope he doesn't.
He still wrestles.
One of my original
Apparently.
sports heroes. Blasphemy on you, Taylor Cooper. Of course he still wrestles. He's a legend. He's never going to die. He
still wrestles?
He got reinstated. He's back in the WWE.
He's the best.
Wow.
At
He's
60-something
a
years
real
old.
American.
I'm down. I'm down.
He eats pork and charred pig. I don't know how the song goes. It's something like that. There's like
He plays the guitar in that.
It's American. There's like a flag in the background. There's a hawk. I don't know. Next.
It's called an eagle.
Oh, yeah. I'm dumb.
Malcolm X's daughter teaming up with NBA stars for clothing line.
That's cool.
Wait, whose daughter?
Sorry, I was taking
Malcolm
a drink
X.
of beer.
Teaming up with who?
NBA stars
For a Nike thing, you said?
for a clothing line.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Okay. I don't know. I have nothing to offer for that. I hope it's cool. I hope it's just like William Murray golf apparel. I have a feeling it's not going to be very golf friendly.
I have a feeling it's not going to be William Murray golf.
Not at all.
But let's withhold judgment until we know more.
Yeah, I agree. What else you got? You got one more for us, CJ.
One more. All right, I'll find one more.
Make it a good one.
I have to look and find one now since we went through all the ones I had.
That's all right. If you're done, we can get a Survivor update from Kevin Reevey.
Oh yeah, shoot! I forgot to talk about Survivor. All right, real quick, real quick, because it's been a while since I talked Survivor. Which, by the way, the 5th greatest American sport. So
apparently we're talking Hulk Hogan now too, so that might bump Survivor down.
all right, well, first off,
Right?
as much as I do love professional wrestling, or
Unless Hulk Hogan goes on Survivor.
loved, I was a
Crossover.
child. I'm an adult now. Professional wrestling is for when you're a kid. I loved it when I was a kid. I'm an adult now. I don't do that anymore. If you do and you're an adult, stop it. Anyway, speaking of serious sports, Survivor. So, Survivor, very controversial this week. They introduced the idol nullifier. Hashtag idol nullifier. Idol nullifier if you're on Twitter. This is unprecedented. So, for the entire length of Survivor, and I don't know how they've always had an idol, like the You win the challenge at the end, you get the immunity necklace and all this stuff, whatever. But at some point not long into their run, they introduced the hidden immunity idol you find somewhere on the island. You play, and you can't be voted off. No exceptions. You play it before the names are read at tribal council. If they wrote down your name, doesn't count. So here's the thing. This year, first ever, they introduced the idol nullifier, where a person can play this before the names are announced and write down on the idol nullifier the name of the guy who they think is going to play the idol, and the idol doesn't count. Now, here's why this is bullshit and why it's also great for the game. All right? It's bullshit because this guy, I forget his name. I'm going to call him Steve. He might be a Steve. I can't remember. Yeah, DJ, look this guy up. The guy who was just voted off, idol nullifier. You'll be able to find it. Just voted off. He played the idol. He sits back in his chair like everything's cool. Then, we have an idol nullifier to play. And it's played for Steve. It's got Steve written on it. And then every vote for Steve that didn't count, all of a sudden counts. He gets voted off. For the first time in Survivor history, a person that played an idol went home.
Wow.
But it's kind of bullshit because did they know before they got into this season that there was an idol nullifier out there? It's important because you have to adjust your game knowing that that's a possibility.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because if you're going home, you're looking at the producers like, yo, John, what the fuck just happened there? How was I just voted off the show? I played an idol, dude. Like, no, we had this new thing called the idol nullifier, and you can play the idol nullifier for the... John, are you fucking serious? I just played an idol.
Well, I would like to say Steve's real name is Dan.
All right, Dan. I knew it was one of those Dan, Steve, Mike, Tom names.
But no, you're that much of a dick when the producers go, yeah, we just have to get rid of this guy. Throw this in there.
But like, so if you're Dan, you're thinking after the fact like, are you kidding me right now? An idol nullifier? But here's why it's cool for Dan. Because he will absolutely be brought back on another season. Because they're going to be like, dude, we did you dirty. And we're sorry.
Yeah.
We should have told you about the whole, like, you thought you were safe thing and you're not.
Well, Dan is quoted as saying in his exit interview, I knew they were coming after me.
Well, yeah, but he had an idol. Never before in the history of the show, it's been like 20 years. Has anyone ever been not safe when you play an idol?
No, he knows he's a dick because he said they're coming after me. So
you don't know the game, CJ.
He
don't
should
pretend you
expect
know
a
the game when you
curveball.
don't. I'm the Survivor expert right here, all right? But here's why it's interesting. So I'm against that all in this particular scenario, but this introduces an extra wrinkle into the game, which I like. Now people are going to start playing their idols differently because there might be an idol nullifier. I was telling CJ this earlier. This is a game changer. This is like Steph Curry entering the league. The idol nullifier is like the new 3-point shot, man. We're going to be talking about a lot about this on Might Be Sports. And stay tuned. We might have a name change. This might be Survivor in like a month or two.
Wow.
It's going to get real. I mean, stay tuned. But we got to move on. We got to do
go to the week.
Got to do go to the week.
Go to the week before we get out of here. The greatest of all time
of the week.
My go to the week this week is Andrew Luck. We talked briefly about him earlier. He has been absolutely going off this season. The past 8 games, he has thrown for 27 touchdowns and 2,450 yards. 27 touchdowns in the last 8 games. He's the only quarterback. He's thrown 8 straight games with at least 3 touchdowns.
That's outrageous.
Outrageous.
Just to put that in perspective.
Comeback player of the year, 1,000%.
27 touchdowns, 8 games.
Yeah.
Pop quiz. Who was the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for over 30 touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions in the same year?
No idea.
Donovan McNabb.
Wow.
Believe it or not, it started a trend. The very next year, I believe Peyton Manning did it and Tom Brady did it.
Okay.
Year after that, I think Peyton
Copycats.
and Tom did it again.
Yeah.
And then Drew Brees, and everyone got in on the act, but Donovan McNabb first got to do it. Now it seems commonplace.
Yeah.
You're going to have like 3 or 4 guys a year do that.
It's a high-scoring league right now.
So,
That's my go to the week. Andrew Luck, definitely.
all right. So, you got a football player. My guy's a real athlete. Phil Mickelson, golfer. 5 hours under
Yeah.
the lights.
Yeah?
Pulled it off. I was on Team Tiger. I got to give it up. I like Phil. I'm a Tiger Woods guy.
Yeah.
But I was disappointed in the outcome. But I was more okay with Phil winning at the end, basically because, so everyone who didn't watch it, I know you didn't see it, so here's the Cliff's Notes of how it ended was, they played the last hole 3 times, par 3, 100 yards. This is the shortest par 3 you can have. This is the shortest par 3 you'll have, like your local course. Tiger Woods basically all 3 times overshot the hole. Like, dude, you're Tiger Woods. You should nail this. So he got a reprieve twice. He should have been beaten the first 2 times easy. So Phil just was consistent. Tiger blew it. He didn't deserve to win. So I'm proud of Phil. Pulled it off. I think it really got to Phil over the years that Tiger just kept, beating him down. If Tiger didn't exist, Phil might have been this guy. He might have been in talks of being the greatest golfer of all time instead of Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
So he really wanted this one moment, this historic match, which it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, hey, the $9 million, which after taxes is like $12,000, but still, you could buy like 3 new William Murray buggies,
There you go.
which is a new item available on WilliamMurrayGolf.com.
Wow.
And
Kevin's plug.
I really
and he
want
will
one of
accept
those.
one too if you are going to
And they're not a
purchase one.
sponsor, which is crazy. I hope they are someday.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We will mention them on the show every day if I just get one free shirt.
One free shirt.
It's worth it.
Wow, you just sold yourself so short.
Wow.
Anyway,
I'll make sure to give you your one free shirt when they sponsor us.
you know what? This was a fun. It was a fun episode. I'm
What?
glad we didn't have T Mac or Scoop B.
Wow, we did great without a guest.
Or the Ace of Spader.
We did great without a
We did great.
guest. CJ, great job tonight.
Thank you. You guys did great.
Reevy, wonderful job.
Great job by you.
And catch us again next week where we talk maybe some sports. Catch Might Be Brews on Friday, all new episode with John and Steve and myself. Catch all the other great shows on the Might Be News Network at MBN News. God damn it. MBNnetwork.com. And we're all over the place. Stitcher, Google Podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify. I get them all?
More coming soon.
Yeah, more coming soon. You can't see my eyes rolling, but they are. You platform, gotta. I
3D.
I only listen to podcasts on Pandora.
Yeah, this podcast is going to be in 3D soon. It'll be awesome.
Check us out everywhere. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great week, guys.
You too.
Love you.